We make a pretty big deal about words here. President Obama takes some grief for not saying the words radical Islamic terror, of course. And now we're nearing an administration decision on the use of another term that carries a host of political implications. Chief Legal Correspondent Shannon Bream tonight on Christians and genocide.
ISIS is engaged with persecution and genocide against the Christians.
It appears to be one point of agreement across the presidential partisan divide, labeling the atrocities against Christians in the Middle East as genocide.
There is a concerted effort by ISIS and other terrorist groups to wipe out that history, to murder to the extent of genocide Christians, Yazidis, other minority groups that are in the region.
Back in 2014, even Secretary of State John Kerry said the attacks, quote, bear all the warning signs and hallmarks of genocide. Yet when pushed to make a formal declaration on behalf of the Christian victims of ISIS, Kerry has hedged.
Congressman, it does require a lot of fact gathering. I mean, you have to get the facts from the ground, more than just anecdotal.
Mr. Secretary, the whole world knows that Christians are being slaughtered in the Middle East. It's clear.
The White House essentially argues that the lack of a genocide designation is not stopping the administration from acting.
But it certainly has not in any way delayed the administration from taking aggressive action to protect religious minorities that are being targeted by ISIL.
What happens when activity is labeled genocide is a tricky affair. It can trigger obligations under the 1948 UN Convention on Genocide, which obligates parties to the agreement to prevent and punish genocide if it happens within their borders. If they will not or cannot, the burden may fall on other parties to the convention, who could push the UN to provide military force, among other things, to stop the brutality.
There's a real opportunity here to have history look back on what happened right now and say, okay, there was the courage to do the right thing here.
As part of a recent appropriations bill, Congress has given Secretary Kerry until March 17th to submit a detailed report about the ISIS atrocities against groups, including Middle Eastern Christians, and whether or not they will call it genocide. Brett?
Shannon, thank you.